So the only thing that you're experiencing is life. You may think this is color, you may think this is sound, you may think this is something else. Some people who drink may drink for the pleasure of it. Some people who drink may drink because they want to drown something within themselves. See, nobody says, I want to drink. Some people drink, some people don't. Everything that happens only within you, isn't it? So, that's why exuberance and abandon is more important than control.
When people move out of survival, they must find other areas of interest and passionate involvement. So, massively, the generation is moving in that way. People ask me, Sadhguru, you drink? I said, yes, I drink water. Right now, to be healthful, you need chemicals. To be peaceful, you need chemicals. To be joyful, if you go into certain states within yourself, you will know intoxication like no drug or no drink can ever create.
Are you still under the influence of intoxicants? A questioner asks Sadhguru about the ways to avoid the temptations like alcohol that come our way while we try to experience life. Let's hear an interesting reply from Sadhguru.
Namaskaram Sadhguru. My question is, as you have said for many times, Shiva has explored all the dimensions of life, everything he has explored. In this age, when the energy is at its peak, how can we explore every aspect of the life without being untouched and getting attached to all the compulsive activities? We say, I don't want to drink, but somewhere we are afraid that we will be addicted to it. My question is, how can we explore every aspect of life without being untouched?
See, nobody says, I want to drink. Some people drink, some people don't. Some people who drink may drink for the pleasure of it. Some people who drink may drink because they want to drown something within themselves. Some people drink because everybody is drinking, it's an evolutionary it's an evolutionary issue, you know. When we were monkeys, if one did this, everybody did this. And some people don't drink because they think it's morally wrong. Some people don't drink because they're afraid their parents and society, what they will say. Everything that happens only within you, isn't it? Do you see me right now, even if you're not hearing? Even if you're not listening, are you able to see me? Can you use your one hand and point out where I am? You got it wrong. This light is falling upon me, reflecting, going through your lenses, inverted image in the retina, you know the whole thing. You know the whole story, right? Where do you see me now? Within yourself. Where do you hear me right now? Within yourself. Where have you seen the whole world? Within yourself. Anything that ever happened to you, joy or misery, light or darkness, pain or pleasure, happened only within you, isn't it so? Did you ever experience anything outside of you? Did you? Some people don't drink because they found something better within themselves. They found something far better than a drink, so it never arose in their mind that they have to drink because they're doing wonderfully by themselves. They don't need any chemical help from outside. So these are different ways. If you want to explore life, because you can only explore life, you cannot explore art, you cannot explore spirituality, you cannot explore something, you can only explore life, yes? Well, you may look at it from a certain perspective. Somebody may look at it in an artistic way, in an aesthetic way, in a musical way, in a spiritual way, but essentially we're exploring life. Even if you are looking at inanimate things, you're only exploring life because nothing happens outside of you. This is my mind, that's your mind, 100%, isn't it? But when it comes to life, there is no such thing as your life and my life. This is a living cosmos. You just captured a little bit of it. How much you captured, how much life have you gathered within you will determine what is the scope and scale of your life. So whether you call it art, whether you call it music, whether you call it spiritual process or whatever the nature of activity, activity is a means to open up your borders of individuality. Well, that first question, is it a way of stamping my individuality? No, it is a way of erasing the boundaries of your individuality so that something larger than yourself happens to you. Something larger than what you think as myself happens to you in your life. This is the purpose of love, this is the purpose of art, this is the purpose of sexuality, this is the purpose of spiritual process. Essentially, that something larger than myself must happen to me, because only if this happens, I feel trapped inside this. Yes or no? You interpret this in many different ways, but essentially what you're looking for is, you want to somehow go beyond the limitations of your own boundaries. The word yoga, you've heard of the word yoga? Hello? So the only thing that you're experiencing is life. You may think this is color, you may think this is sound, you may think this is something else. No, in your experience, you're only experiencing the way different things imprint upon your life. That's the only way you can experience it, there is no other means of experience for you. So essentially, you're only exploring life because nothing else you have access to. Yes? Right now I may think I'm looking at this person, but no, I am only looking at the image that happens in my mind, isn't it so? Right now, if you touch somebody next to you, think you're experiencing that person's hand. No, you only experience the sensations in your hand, isn't it so? So your entire experience of life is absolutely within you. That means you are capable of experiencing only this one life. So is it a trap that you can only experience this? No. If you experience this, then everything becomes a possibility because, see, when it comes to body, we clearly know this is my body, that's your body, 100%. If you want to create something brilliant, something unique, something truly of some significance, you need an experience. But this is not if you find me too prejudiced, please tell me. I will tell you why I am prejudiced. The influence of European art on the rest of the world is disproportionately large. There is no joy in the art. The more miserable it is, the more profound it is supposed to be. It should look grotesque and… Because this became a European trait that in their own thought, they thought their thought is so supreme, they went to the point of saying, I think so, I exist. I want to ask you a simple question. Is it because you think you exist or because you exist you may think? Which way is it, please? Huh? The word yoga means people think. Twisting and turning is not yoga. The word yoga means union. Union means if you sit here, there is you and the universe. If you sit here tightly fixed with your boundaries, it is you versus the universe. You versus universe is a stupid competition. Hello? Those of you who are like this all the time, it's an absolutely idiotic competition between you and the universe. If you have any sense, you don't compete with the universe because you're a small speck in this universe. How do you compete? This is what individuality means. Individuality means you are head-on with the universe. Yoga means You obliterated the boundaries of your individuality. The distinction between what is you and what is the universe has gone down considerably. If you sit here, what is you and what is everything else is about the same in your experience. If this happens to you, then you will see there is no such thing as my life and your life. There is just one big life happening. This experience is needed. A tremendous experience is needed within you if you want to create something fantastic. To know profoundness of joy, to know profoundness of love, to know profoundness of exuberance and intensity of life, it takes something more. But if we just stick a pin into you, just a pin, not a sword, just a pin, the pain goes to the core, isn't it? Hello? Just a little pin, 1-inch pin, if I stick it, so deep. So pain becomes profound much more easily. So a lot of people think pain is the source of profoundness. This has to change. Because you think you exist, or because you exist you may think. Because you exist you may think. Because most people are in such a state of mental diarrhea, they think thought is a continuous process. No, life is an ongoing process. Thought should happen consciously, isn't it? Now I'm here, I exist. Now my hand moves when I want. Suppose this hand all the time it's jumping around like this, you will think I have an ailment. And definitely you can't be an artist with a jumping hand. Right now, this is the state of most minds. They're always jumping all over the place. And they think it's normal. It's not normal. But Sadhguru, everybody is like this only. Well, that's how it is in asylum. Everybody will be like that only. Only the doctor will be crazy. Rest will be like that only, isn't it? So, it's important that there is an experience of exuberance, joy, profoundness. But right now in the world, a whole lot of people think only in misery you can be profound. Because it is true that for most people, their pain is the most profound experience of their life. Indian art and the rest of the world must get liberated from the European art forms because it comes from deep states of misery, very deep states of misery. Suffering has been celebrated. There is nothing celebratory about suffering. Maybe you can celebrate somebody else's suffering. There's nothing celebratory about your own suffering, isn't it? Please.
So how Shiva…
You still with him only?
How Shiva explored his life, the different dimensions, I wanted to ask that also.
That's what I said just now without mentioning his name, but what you're referring to as Shiva means that which is not. That means he is not. He is not means what? He is in a state of abandon. An artist should know a state of abandon, that nothing phenomenal will ever come out of you. If you're doing it self-consciously, if I paint this, how much money will I get? Then you must be a street-side caricature artist. If you want to produce something fantastic, what you consider as myself should go, at least for moments. If not continuously, at least for moments it must go. Shiva means that's what it means. He's not. He's simply not. He's in a state of exuberance. When he's still, he's not. Otherwise, when he gets into movement, he gets into the most intense dance form, so then also he is not. He doesn't know the in-between. He's on this peak or on this peak. He doesn't rest in between. So, that's why exuberance and abandon is more important than control.
The use of alcohol and drugs have been increasing among the youth. More and more people are getting involved with intoxicants that are not only ruining their physical health, but also their thought processes, crippling them from experiencing life. Sadhguru suggests some promising alternatives to intoxicants. Have a look.
Namaskaram Sadhguru. I'd like to know the truth about the increase in alcohol usage and addiction in my generation, my younger generation. Very young kids in school are starting to use substances and as a safe haven, as an escape for them, and that feels very scary and dangerous. I want to know why you think kids are using this, and I want to know what you think is the best way, most organic way to get people out of it.
Namaskaram, Nag. I like your name. Cobras have always been very dear to me. And if you do not know this, cobra venom also is an intoxicant if it's used in a certain way. Why the need for intoxication is going up in the society? There are many reasons. One basic thing is, people are no more fighting for survival. A large segment of society has moved out of survival. So, massively, the generation is moving in that way. And one more significant reason why this generation is moving towards these drugs is, in their minds, the heavens that were promised are collapsing. Maybe still they're not able to articulate it very clearly, they don't have the clarity or the courage to say it, but for a long time we have managed people saying that if you abstain from all these things, in heaven all of this will be available in huge quantities. Now heavens are collapsing, so they're trying to drink it up right here. So there are like this, there are many aspects. Fundamentally, there is no need for an individual human being to physically strive for his survival. That itself makes the need for intoxication more. In this culture, even the kings sent their children to Gurukula, where they studied with other children, where everybody lived with very basic needs, because a necessary sense of discipline and involvement and engagement with life has to happen before wealth comes into somebody's life. Otherwise, wealth will become a burden that you carry on your head. And this is what is happening to this generation. When people move out of survival, they must find other areas of interest and passionate involvement. If that doesn't happen, the need for pleasure and the need for intoxication will naturally go up in that given society. This is why it's very important that even if the parents are affluent, the children should not know affluence till they come to a certain age. And one more reason is, because these days both the parents are working largely, at an early age, the needed attention that the child needs is not happening to the child, so naturally various deviances are taken to, and there is not enough physical activity. When you don't enjoy the fitness of your body, then the only other thing that you will enjoy is intoxication. If you do not enjoy the vibrance and vitality of your system, then intoxication becomes the only way. And now drugs are not only intoxication, they'll also make them feel vibrant for a few hours. People ask me, Sadhguru, you drink? I say, yes, I drink water. They look at me like I'm a strange creature, just water? Yes, that is the most fantastic drink that you can have is water, because this body is made of water, not alcohol. 70% of this body is water, definitely not alcohol, but above all, I am a different case because I have found within my system how, this being the greatest chemical factory, if you want intoxication, you can generate it from inside. A kind of intoxication which makes you inebriated and super aware at the same time. This is the kind of intoxication we should introduce our children and youth to. This is why we are striving to bring the technology of yoga into everybody's life. If you go into certain states within yourself, you will know intoxication like no drug or no drink can ever create. At the same time, you will remain super aware and it will do miracles to your health and well-being. It is time that we learn to do things in a more technologically enhanced way. We have ways for this that people can turn inward and know the highest pleasures of life. We must make our youth experience this. Unless you give them an alternative, they will go back to the bottle, they will go back to the pill. What are the solutions? It's very, very important, those of you who have growing children, you involve them in sports, other activity which engages them with nature, like trekking, mountain climbing, swimming, some intense activity and also engagement with nature, art, music. They must become passionate about something, they must learn to know the pleasures of their intellect, their emotion, their consciousness. When one begins to enjoy the pleasures of the mind, the pleasures of the sharpness of your intellect, the pleasures of emotion, the pleasures of your consciousness, then to indulge in the pleasures of the body will naturally come down dramatically. So this is very important that children should go through a variety of activity and involvement and passionate involvement in various things. This will bring down the need for alcohol and drugs, but we must understand this. Today, it is being heavily marketed, and I'm sorry, the movies are promoting it. Everywhere it is being made like it's a social thing, unless you drink, you're no good. Right now, to be healthful, you need chemicals. To be peaceful, you need chemicals. To be joyful, you need chemicals. To experience anything within yourself, you need chemical help. So you must understand, when a generation uses chemicals like this, if 90% of the people start using pharmaceutical and other types of chemicals on a daily basis, the next generation that we produce will be in many ways less than who we are. This is a crime against humanity. All of us should wake up to this fact and do what is needed.
Alcohol addiction is a major problem in our society. It is a major source of both physical and psychological problems. Intoxicants can ruin our life the way we cannot imagine. So drink water, like Sadhguru. Quit drinking and find alternatives as suggested in this video. It is beneficial for you, your family, and the world at large. Are you going to work on your alcohol addiction? What would you like to see in the next video? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Click on the video link shown above to see more from us. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.